Welcome back to another review video. Today I have the Crimson Dawn Valiant Neopixel lightsaber. This is one of Crimson Dawn's main lightsabers that's on their website. $169.99 is the base price for this hilt. I chose it with the Neopixel board, which added another $199.99. This hilt is classified as a combat-ready saber, aircraft aluminum. It is 1.3 inches wide and 10.25 inches in length. It includes here the anti-vandal switch that is illuminated red, not by my choosing, but is illuminated red. In-hilt recharge port. Here is a little black accent knob, no function there, and a black anodized CoverTech wheel. Vented pommel for sound here, and not sure if that can be seen, but there are no visible LEDs because it is Neopixel. It does come apart here towards the bottom to reveal the board, the battery, and the speaker. This is advertised as a modular saber core compatible. Not sure what you take off of it or add to it. The only thing that I noticed that comes off is this bottom portion. So if you could change out the bottom portion for a different one, this supposedly is compatible with that. There are multiple sound fonts on this board. I want to say roughly 20 sound fonts, all featuring flash on clash, featuring saber lockup, blaster deflect. There are some force effects that it also can do as well. It has in-hilt color changing abilities. It plays music. It has hibernation mode, smooth swing, and just loaded with in-hilt. Don't have to mess with it. Loads of functions. In the package you will find, of course, the hilt. I did order the Neopixel blade, 36 inches in length. That's the connector right there. Directions pamphlet, not super in depth. Does give you the functionality of the buttons, how to work it, but that's really about it. Does say to use, Crimson Dawn's provided charge and do not mess with the internals of the hilt, otherwise it voids your warranty. It also comes with this charger here. It is USB powered. Mine did show up broken. Did have to get a new one. They sent it within 5 days, so not bad. Pretty good customer service, and they were quick to help. You do get, of course, a retention screw. If it's not your first lightsaber, you should have about 100 of these sitting around anyway. And then, of course, this little bag contained all of the screws. One of my only complaints is that nowhere on here and nowhere on the website does it tell you where the screws go on this hilt. As you can see, those two retention screws are always visible. I cannot figure out why they would do that, but that's how it's done. You get two identical length screws that go there. You get one shorter that's on the top there. And there's one left in here that seemingly goes to nothing. Let me show you with the blade in what I'm talking about with the retention screws. So blade is in. I'm using the Allen key, tightening them down, and I do tighten it pretty hard just so that it doesn't fall out or there's no movement if I'm swinging it around or hitting something with it. That being said, basically as tight as it gets, those screws are still visible. So only saber that I own that has that, where the retention screws are not flush with the hilt, and that is not my favorite feature. Definitely kind of takes away from the look of the hilt in general, in my opinion. So the instructions here show you, how to turn it on, how to turn it off, how to change the volume, the color. There are some battle effects at the bottom. Playing music. The hilt does feature music that can be played while the color is illuminated. And I won't mess around too much with all of the features, but I will show you at least the hilt and saber illuminated and some of the sounds that it plays. I'm in a room with, artificial light at the moment, blackout curtains, so it's bright in here, but no sunlight. And just to show how bright the lights are in this blade. Extremely bright. It is fairly loud as well. You can, like I said, change the volume. There's that smooth swing. Very responsive. Very responsive. Let me see if I can't get a darker color, which a darker color better exemplifies the flash on clash, blaster deflect, and blade lockup as well.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
So that kind of introduces your next sound font. Every single sound font kind of has its own little blurb like that. And then they all have, well, half of them have music to be paired along with the font. So this one was a Vader font. If I double tap here, Imperial March. Sort of an unstable red, hard to see on camera here. There we go. Hard to see on camera, but it is a bit flickery and unstable. You can kind of tell on my shirt the slight flickering. Most of the fonts have the flash on clash about halfway down the blade. That's just how it is. Blaster deflect starts in the middle and then kind of dissipates outward in both directions. And then the lockup is a press and a hit. Right in the middle, and then dissipates when you let go of the button.
I'm Cal Kestis.
Cal Kestis, I think we saw that one.
You don't know
Vader.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
Luke. Nice green. Oh no, this is the one that changes. This actually takes you through every color. So there's an identical font with that same introduction that is strictly green.
Show me again the power of the darkness.
Kylo.
Rey Skywalker.
Rey. I think this one might be the rainbow blade. Yes. Alright. See if I can't edit this a little bit. There we go. Rainbow effect. Kind of cool. Not super practical in use, but it looks neat. Alright.
Crimson Assassin.
Crimson Assassin. Oh yes, so any of these that are titled Crimson, etc., are all preloaded by the Crimson Dawn team. I did reach out, and they did say that at some point they were going to be releasing micro SD cards that you can add to your board that will give you different and more fonts. Didn't really have any more info than they're coming eventually. So it'd be cool to see what other fonts they offer, how much those SD cards are going to be, and how easy it is to just swap back and forth. I didn't really get a super close look at the inside and what it entails, but it does look like there is a slot for something to plug in, and I do see a small SD card on the inside, so we'll see what the future holds. But for now, you get at least 20 or so fonts preloaded on here, more than enough. Let's see. Mystic.
The Darksaber.
Darksaber, popular one here. Sort of that unstable look again.
Crimson Starfighter.
Starfighter, and
Protector.
there's one more Starfighter and something to do with another ship. They both sound like starships. Not my favorite, but kind of cool. Ah, this is your battery indicator. You just cycle through and eventually it shows you this. If it's towards the top, obviously, charged. Towards the bottom, dying or dead.
Don't make me destroy you.
Another Vader font. Color changing, pointing it downward. When you hear that sound, after 2 presses, that means that you've successfully entered color changing mode. Then you can twist to change to your desired color for Darth Vader's new color lightsaber. So you find one that you like. I think you have to point it downwards again. There, and you hear that. I think it's R2. Now it's stuck on this color. So if I turn it off, yeah, so it remembered. So if I wanted to change it back, or after I think I do a hard turn off of the blade or of the saber, it will go back to that red. But again, it's super easy to change back and forth between the colors.
Show me again.
Kylo.
Crimson Assassin.
This is a Maul. And it's very, very bright. Can turn off the lights and get a good idea of how bright it really is. So here in the room, blackout curtains, no lights on, illumination. It's very, very bright. Basically lights up the whole room red. This is a warmer color, so it's not going to be super bright.
Crimson Electrosaber. The Darksaber.
Something like this, a colder color, definitely gives you a better feeling of how bright it is. So that was the light demonstration, just showing how bright this thing actually is. It's very, very lightweight, just the hilt by itself. Super, super lightweight. Even with the blade, not a whole lot heavier. I won't screw this in, but something to note with the Neopixel is that they're not extremely well balanced. Most sabers that you buy, I mean, of course, depending on what you're getting, balance point is located directly right here, which is best for spinning, most comfortable because it just feels better in the hand. With the Neopixel, because the blade has all the LEDs and electronics built into it, your point of balance is closer to here. Depending on, so not great for spinning because a lot of your weight is in the blade versus in the hilt, or a balance between the two. But of course, not end of the world. Going back to overall dimensions, I have pretty decent sized hands. This thing is small, but easy to grip. I can grip it really well in different choke points. There's no metal, that scratches the hand. I can fit 2 hands around it and not really interfere with the CoverTech wheel, which I really like. And just for comparison purposes, something like the Dark Revan, I think, from Ultra Sabers. This is a thick saber. So fingers don't quite go all the way around it. It's extremely long, bulky, very durable, but just the comparison here, extremely different. So this could almost fit inside as the blade itself. So the simplicity and the daintiness of this makes it feel a little bit more elegant in the hand, and I do like that quite a bit about it. Unfortunately, when I was going to order this, or when I did order this, Crimson Dawn was out of stock of blade plugs, and I personally like the look of blade plugs. I like the idea of blade plugs just to keep everything safe inside of your hilt. There's no LED in here, but there are connectors that look expensive and important. I just used an Ultra Sabers blade plug I had laying around. Fits exactly the same. So it is nice that that's compatible. Nothing else is compatible. I mean, I guess if this was a baselit saber, the blade might be compatible just because they're all roughly the same dimensions. But yeah, blade plug, if you have one laying around, it should fit. Then you just tighten down your retention screws, which unfortunately don't lay flush, but we talked about that before. Not the biggest deal. You know, it's not extremely noticeable. Yeah, works great. CoverTech wheel, I had a previous belt clip from, I think I have one from Ultra Sabers and from Saberforge. It fits. Same thing from the Disney Legacy lightsaber belt clips. It'll fit. It's pretty standard, you know, nothing out of the ordinary. It's very lightweight, so it feels great on the belt. A lot of my other hilts that are Ultra Sabers, you know, they can pull your pants down just because they're so heavy. And that being said, that's pretty much all I have to give on this hilt. This again is the Crimson Dawn Valiant Neopixel lightsaber. So if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.